to the angels or know everything, even solve the mysteries of the universe. Without love, it wouldn't mean nothing. Make me kinder, make me stronger, make me better, help me grow, be more loving and more caring. In the spirit is best, I know. If I could predict the future or undo my past, even have the power to move a mountain, without love it wouldn't last. Make me kinder, make me stronger, make me better, help me grow, be more loving and more caring. In the spirit is best, I know. Look at the ways of the world today. It's hard to see what is real. Only when we look through the eyes of love can we begin then to heal. Oh, make me kinder, make me stronger, make me better, help me grow, be more loving, more caring. The spirit is best, I know. Make me kinder, make me stronger, better, help me grow, more loving and more caring. In the spirit is best, I know. Make me stronger, better, help me grow, more loving and more caring. In the spirit is best, I know.
Hello. My name's John McLean. And it is the delight of my life that I get to be minister here at this church. I was so kind of taken away by the song, I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. This is live. And did anybody watch the Halloween at home? I did. And our fabulous tech crew made a very special guest appearance. Lots of thumbs up from around the country for folks who were watching. I want to thank Carter and Reed and Garrett and Andre. Yes, Andre was in the ensemble as well, for doing the Monster Mash for us. And I trust that you had a special Halloween. And today is November. Any November babies? When? Boy, even I heard that. When's your birthday, Brooke? On the 26th of November. Anybody else back there? When's yours, Chris?
21st.
The 21st of November. Okay, let us know when your birthday is. If you don't, let us know when your birthday is. You can't get a card from me. And happy birthday to November babies. And while we're at this, I should let you know that that's Chris West on saxophone there, who was with us a few weeks ago. And the reviews were so positive, we asked him back. And Brooke, and Brooke is with us. And the peace-loving Sunday Morning Orchestra, that's Chris Croce and Vincent Haggard and David Lukens. We've been working together for 4 years. And it's been a happy 4 years. I should get back to my script here and let you know that Unity is first and foremost a prayer ministry. And we're here to support you over any joy or concern that you might want prayer for. Unity itself has been praying for almost 140 years now nonstop, and we've been in Nashville for 105, providing the same joyful and privileged service of praying with all who ask for prayer. And we're honored to do that. We have a prayer each week, which changes, and the prayer this week is printed on your e-hymnal under this week's prayer. I say this every night at 9 o'clock and upon rising. And this week's prayer is: in the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. And my world is in divine order, and I confidently do what is mine to do. And with trust and thanks, together the people said amen. As you consider how you would like us to pray with you and type in your prayer requests, again, they can be concerns or joys, anything that you would like to be held in prayer. I do want to mention a few folks that we are praying with. Helen Tyson's recovering. My friend Val Close in Seattle is recovering right now. I don't have confirmation, but a grandchild of a beloved congregant is close to passing, and we're holding that whole family in prayer right now. But do indeed let us know how we can pray for you. And as we are entering this time of prayer, I do have a pastoral comment. Many of us have been voting, and Tuesday is election day. And from the great numbers of people that I speak to, from friends all around the country, former congregants on the West Coast, and from what I see out in America, this is a time of pastoral crisis, and I want to acknowledge that. Wherever you reside on the spectrum of political choices, it doesn't matter. But there is a lot of energy that is wrapped around this event. And all are being prayed for. Where there is fear, concern, rage, all are being held equally in prayer. As Abraham Lincoln spoke in his second inaugural address, we are entering a time where all of our work, for all of us, no matter who we are, is to have a heart that knows the truth about with malice toward none and charity for all. My prayer is that the energy, the fierceness, and the negativity leave this time so we can get about the work of however that shapes up to be, of making this country healthy and on purpose. And truly, as Theodore Roosevelt once wrote, this won't be a good country for anyone until it's a good country for everyone to live in. And so let's go to the computer, if you would please now, and let us know how we can pray for you at this time.
That we rest in God and say amen.
By way of announcements, there are a precious few, other than it is a beautiful day in Middle Tennessee here. Oh my gosh. And I got up early enough because of the time change to get a cup of coffee at 5:30 in the morning and sit outside and watch the blue moon set over Radnor Lake Park. It was a beautiful morning already. I hope yours was as well. My class continues on Monday nights. Joan Kennedy's class Wednesday at 10 a.m. continues. Anyone can join us anytime in the Zoom room at noon on Wednesdays for our noon prayer gathering. And before we enter into our gratitudes, you won't see me after I move that direction because I'm not speaking today. Our guest speaker is Vic Sorrell. And Vic is well known to everybody in this church. He's been a special friend and has made a lot of joyful music here over the many years. And I wanted him to speak today. I wanted him to be in the pulpit. This is a good time for us to begin to hear other points of view on occasion. And Vic is somebody that I've been wanting to invite into the pulpit for a long time, so I'm especially grateful that he is with us today. And so, by way of support and your gratitude practice, which is oh so important, if you continue to support us because you have not experienced financial trouble, we are more than grateful for it because it allows us to continue to do the work that needs to be done. And for those of you that are having financial difficulties, we honor this, we understand it, and we are praying for you. And, that was emphatic, and, not but, your gratitude practice must continue, especially if you were suffering. So find some way to pay forward some aspect of your life. And by way of paying forward, you can let us know what you're grateful for right now. So let's do that and sing Flow Through Me, shall we? When things are different, I get confused. And you're going to take that from the top again, David? Yes, with your solo?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to breathe deep. And say to the God of my understanding, I thank you for the gifts of money, substance, and all the gifts of health, right relationship, purpose, joy. There's so many things that are good with all of our lives right now, and we take this opportunity to pay it forward by means of intention, putting a positive charge into life, and by doing so, knowing that it is good. Okay, so it is, and amen.
If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that he's traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian art, if I can bring back beauty to a world abroad, if I can spread the message that the Master taught, then my living shall not be in vain. And my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. It won't be in vain. As I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. It won't be in vain. It won't be in vain.
And I can guarantee it is not in vain. It is not in vain. Thank you, Brooke. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's my joy, my gift to be here. I'm Vic Sorrell. And if you would just hold with me while I affirm, we are enough now as we could ever be, worthy of full, prosperous, healthy life experiences, and we are safe to co-create those life experiences now. And so it is. As I said before, it's my gift to be here this morning in this room because it's full circle for me in many ways. And something that's also relevant to the talk today that's true is that because of my preconceived notions about what a church ought to be, I almost didn't find unity. I found love I found unconditional love. I found the teachings of Jesus. I found the teachings of A Course in Miracles. And eventually, about 14 years ago and some change, I found Unity through the website. But it wasn't this Unity Church that I found first. Instead, it was Unity Church of Positive Living, which at the time was in Donaldson in a strip mall. And I had a preconceived notion about what a church in a strip mall meant. And so I pulled up in front of that church in the strip mall, and I decided it probably wasn't the best fit for me, and that instead maybe I should drive on to Brentwood. Which is what I did. And I walked into this room in July of 2006, and Reverend John McLean gave the message that day. And for those of you who know the brilliant Janice Stanfield, she offered the music. So like many people, I had the experience of coming home. And I'm not sure exactly what John said that day, but I know what I heard. And I know what I took out of this room, and that is, whether you are living the life of your dreams is irrelevant. Are you living the life of your choice? Are you living the life of your choice? Now, he may not have said that. And I know in retrospect that a lot of times when you speak, people hear what they need to hear. And that day, I definitely needed to hear that. Fast forward to today, those words are more true for me, and I think for the world, than ever. It truly is irrelevant who the person of our dreams is. Are we living the personhood of our choice today? Are we living out the truth that we claim to know? And especially now, given the significant times of change and evolution and the pace that seems ever more rapid, the only way to thrive in these times is to learn to slow down. And when the world around us is experiencing collective crucifixion, it's the most important time for us to be experiencing and facilitating our own personal resurrection so that we can meet the need for the change. So what about those preconceived notions? Are they supporting our own personal experience of resurrection, rebirth, reinvigoration, or something else? If we had a room full of people today, I would ask, do you really believe that Jesus turned the water into wine? Do you really believe that Jesus healed the leper? A lot of times in Unity, you'll hear that those stories are symbolic. And I got to thinking, symbolic of what? Those stories are stories of miracles. And if you've heard me speak before, you know that I often refer to A Course in Miracles, and A Course in Miracles suggests that miracles occur naturally in the presence of love, and love is our nature. And that is the truth with a capital T, meaning the eternal truth that is, was, and always will be no matter what. Now think for a minute about what is true for you. And consider with me that where certain truths are absent, other truths will take their place. I recently had a conversation with a good friend of mine about the truth of realizing that we both got to our mid-30s before we realized that we never really learned how to eat properly growing up. We learned how to fill our bodies, but not how to fuel our bodies such that we could thrive in adulthood. But the beautiful thing about adulthood is being able to take inventory of what you got, of what you didn't get, and capitalize on that opportunity. So if we didn't learn how to eat, did we learn how to think? And I know for sure that my own learning how to think began in this room. How to think in the realm of truth with a capital T. To that same extent, we can only experience the fullness and the prosperity of truth with a capital T according to what we believe is true about love. And we can only see what we're willing to allow to be possible. You know, we will create our own evidence for that which we are committed to seeing. Think about that relationship. Think about what we are committed to seeing about that person in hindsight. Is it the love that we know they are? Or is it the otherness that we experience them to be? What we believe is possible with regard to the actual healing of what we will see coming up in ourselves, especially during this time, is very important. What we believe is possible with regard to healing. What we're willing to believe is true about being healed is exactly what we will experience. Can we overcome the gravity of our own preconceived notions? That's the question in New Thought. A Course in Miracles says, if you ask for a miraculous healing, but a miraculous healing would contradict your belief system, that means that if you receive the miraculous healing, it would freak you out so much that the Holy Spirit would literally step aside before it would supersede your own free will. So what are we willing to believe is true about love? What are we willing to be true? What are we willing to allow to be true about miracles and our true nature with regard to those? Because here lies our work, our daily work, of surrendering our own thoughts, perceptions, and feelings such that room can be made. When certain truths are absent, other truths will reside. Love, let your truth reside in me, as me, for the healing of the world. Think about Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy went through hell on the yellow brick road, and all she wanted was to go home. And finally, when she had exhausted all other means, and she was at her wit's end, Glinda the Good Witch said, all you had to do was click your heels 3 times and say, I want to go home. Why didn't you tell me this, right? Can you not see what I've been through? Do you remember what Glinda said? Glinda said, you wouldn't have believed me, dear. You had to live it. You had to be willing to realign with your innocence, with your openness, with your willingness to surrender your best thoughts. Remember, 12-step program, your best thinking got you here. And the same is true for all of us. So if our vision, then, is consumed and overly distracted with the goings-on of the world, or that collective crucifixion that I mentioned earlier, A Course in Miracles says we will sacrifice the vision of one world for the vision of another. And if we are too focused in the world of madness, as it were, as it looks a lot of times, if we're too focused there, we surrender our ability to see the truth with a capital T, the truth of love and how love intends to solve what we see in the world of madness. I think it was Einstein that taught us that solutions don't occur on the same level of thinking as problems. We must rise to the level of solutions in consciousness, which means we must first surrender our preconceived notions of what must be true. When Jesus was on the boat with the disciples and the storm came, They said to Jesus, "Father, save us from the storm." Of course they were scared. We're those disciples all the time. But what did Jesus say to the disciples? He said, "O ye of little faith." He did not say, "O ye of little spiritual power." Jesus as the example versus Jesus as the exception. Two worldviews. In Unity, we know Jesus, the example. We all have spiritual power, but often we have misplaced our faith. Obviously, we don't have as much faith sometimes in our spiritual power as we do in our worldly means. So then what is the difference between Jesus and us? Doubt. Jesus simply knows what he knows what he knows. There is no doubt. And oftentimes we choose a different experience for ourselves. It's not arrogant to think that we are privy to that same power. It is in us, but not of us. As a matter of fact, A Course in Miracles says that willingness to surrender to a power that is in us, but not of us, is humility, the ultimate humility. The willingness to say, "Love, what would you have me do? Where would you have me to go? What would you have me to say? And to whom? Lest it be in vain." Humility. There is a power in me, but not of me. And just as I am willing to surrender my own confusion in the clarity that is the power of love, the miracle of change is made welcome. In the energy of that surrender, change is made welcome. Healing is made welcome. Can we really say that as a collective, we've tried love as a solution? Can we really say that we've exhausted all of our efforts around surrendering to love, being available for what love would have us do, who love would have us be? When was the last time you heard that in a boardroom? I think we ought to take a minute and figure out what love would do. I heard a conversation, I was part of a conversation not too long ago about Enneagram, which some of you may be familiar with Enneagram. For those of you who aren't, it's sort of like a personality evaluation tool that's oftentimes used in employment and HR departments, etc. They were saying that the Enneagram sometimes encouraged people to be too vulnerable, to be too intimate, and so it probably wasn't the best tool for corporate bonding. And I immediately thought about Dr. Phil. How's that working for you? When we don't make space in the workplace for humanity, how's that working for us? And sometimes on the level of that thought that doesn't make space for our humanity, someone may say, "Well, who are you to be so powerful, Jesus? Who are you to be so powerful to just heal the sick?" And with regard to healing the leper, Jesus said, "Would you rather I just say I forgive him? Because it's the same thing." We find our holiness to the extent that we are willing to let go anything that blocks our love and forgiveness of one another. Not the easy things, anything. We find our holiness to the extent we are willing to let go. The realm of the Christ, which is the realm of all healing and God within us, is a perspective. The realm of the Christ is a perspective. Jesus said, "No man cometh under the Father but through me." And in Unity, what we know that means is through the mind that was Jesus, the gentle perspective of unconditional love. There is no power to heal without the power of unconditional love. Think about one more fairy tale. Think about Cinderella. And think about what she went through and how she was feeling toward the end of the story when the sisters and the stepmother had all gone to the ball and she was at home. And she was weeping because there was nothing left for her. She had no hope. And the fairy godmother appeared. And she said all of this to the fairy godmother. There's nothing left for me. I have no hope. I have no life. And the fairy godmother said, dear, if that were true, I wouldn't be able to be here. I am here for your willingness to reunite with your innocence. And when Cinderella gets the man and she gets the coach and she gets the dress and she goes to the ball, all of that is a direct reflection of our creative power through our innocence, through our willingness to allow our innocence, to allow our belief, to allow our reliance, our full reliance on the truth with a capital T. The truth that we know is the truth of love. So what is being miracle-minded? Being mindful that we are the ones through which miracles happen, and our minds must be aligned with the reality of miracles and how they happen. They occur naturally in the presence of love, and what a miracle needs is a shift in perception from fear to love. Maybe now, after this year, this 2020, and all we've seen in ourselves, in our families, in the world, and all we felt, maybe now we've experienced enough that we're humble enough. Maybe we've experienced a sense of separation long enough that we're willing to say, God, take this love. I offer you the space to grant me a higher thought of how I might contribute, how I might be love and form for the healing. I invite you to close your eyes if you'd like. We're going to close today with prayer. A prayer that was written by one of my teachers, Mary Ann Williamson. Dear God, my hope and my salvation. To my intelligence, I add my willingness. There is a power within me. This power is yours. I am open to receive it. I am ready to see it in case it's there. I realize my blindness is caused by my own judgment and my perception of guilt in my family and in myself. With every judgment, I bind myself. With every judgment, I cut off my own power. I desire to be healed of my blindness and judgment. Thus should I be a channel for your love and your power. Such was Jesus. Such have been others, perhaps alive even today. I am open. Could it please be me? Could I be such a channel for healing and light? Heal our minds that our bodies might be healed. Teach us the lessons we are open to learn. If this means we must be more loving, show us how to be more loving. Send your angels to us, O God, to lift the vibration of our thoughts and feelings. Turn us into holy family. Return us to our innocence. Let us see only the love in one another. Thus shall we heal each other, and thus shall we be healed. Dear God, we thank you. And God, we will remember this. And so it is. Namaste.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth.